This is a Rapunzel retelling. Welcome back to the series. Scene 1. Rapunzel at the tower window, softly humming to herself, a dreamy expression on her face. The gentle plucking of a harp fills the air, accompanied by soft lullabies. A single silk thread falls from the top of the tower, almost like it was dropped accidentally. Scene 2. The sorceress walks below the tower, spots the silk thread on the ground and picks it up. She narrows her eyes, a hint of suspicion growing. The scene fades as the low strings start to play, signaling a shift in tone. Scene 3. A quick flashback montage of scenes showing Rapunzel and the prince smiling at each other, exchanging small tokens and enjoying their time together. Light romantic flute plays in the background. Scene 4. Back to the present. The sorceress stands before Rapunzel with her arms crossed, scrutinizing her with a sharp gaze. She gently touches Rapunzel's hair, sending a shiver down Rapunzel's spine. "How did this get here?" she asks suspiciously, gesturing to the silk thread. "Who put it here?" Rapunzel stammers, taken aback by the sudden intrusion and her magic mother's piercing gaze. "Was it the birds? Did they leave this behind?" The sorceress continues to stare intently at Rapunzel, searching for answers. "I swear it was just here," she says, more to herself than to Rapunzel, still suspicious. "Tell me, Rapunzel." She turns to her daughter, her voice laced with skepticism. "Have you been seeing someone?" Rapunzel's eyes widen in alarm, but before she can respond, the sorceress cuts her off. "Don't lie to me," she demands. "Have you been sneaking out of the tower again?" Rapunzel shrinks under her mother's intense scrutiny, torn between fear and a desperate need to be honest. The truth is, she hasn't been sneaking out lately. She had promised the prince she would wait until he came to rescue her, and she intended to keep her word. But how could she explain that to her magic mother, who knew every trick in the book and could see through lies? Scene 5. The prince gallops away on his horse after leaving a vibrant ribbon tied on the tower S-vines. Rapunzel peeks out her window and spots the ribbon. A secret smile spreads across her lips. The scene fades as the music swells with hope. Scene 6. Rapunzel lowers her window cover, trying to hide the smile on her face. Below, the prince prepares to climb the tower using a rope ladder, but he's almost spotted by the sorceress. Startled, he quickly hides as she walks past. Rapunzel watches anxiously as the prince manages to retreat unseen, but their moment of hope is cut short when the rope ladder crashes to the ground, nearly betraying them. Scene 7. As the sorceress enters the tower, Rapunzel quickly hides the ladder. The droning cello intensifies, emphasizing the growing tension within the tower. The sorceress walks through the room, checking every corner, convinced that Rapunzel has been hiding something. Rapunzel, on the other hand, clutches the fallen silk thread from earlier, hoping her mother won't find it. She manages to conceal the evidence, and her mother walks right by without finding the token. However, suspicion still clouds the sorceress's eyes as she continues her search. The scene fades out as Rapunzel nervously watches her mother walk away. Scene 8. In the solitude of her room, Rapunzel lets out a sigh of relief and drops onto her bed. Clutching the ribbon tightly, she whispers to herself about how wonderful it would be to see the prince again. She looks out the window longingly, realizing that her magical mother might be onto her. The gentle but anxious melody underscores Rapunzel's conflicted emotions between her longing for freedom and her fear of losing everything. Scene 9. As the sun sets, casting long shadows across the tower wall, the sorceress's shadow looms large over Rapunzel, symbolizing the ever-present danger she faces. The music crescendos, building suspense as dark chords resonate in the background. Scene 10. Up in Rapunzel's room, the sorceress walks toward the window, her silhouette framed against the darkening sky. The music reaches a fever pitch as she pulls back the heavy drapes, revealing a breathtaking view of the kingdom below. But there's an ominous twist. Instead of Rapunzel's usual hopeful face, the camera focuses on her wide, worried eyes peering out from behind the tapestry. The music suddenly cuts off, leaving only the sound of her ragged breathing. The scene fades to black, ending on a dramatic cliffhanger. So, will the sorceress find out about Rapunzel and the prince? Find out next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.